Good Monday morning, you guys. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe it's already the end of October. Halloween is on Friday, you guys. And oh my goodness, then November starts. And I have to tell all of you guys this, right? My mama already has all of her downstairs Christmas trees up. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna put
Okay,
her
that's
out.
awesome.
She showed me all of them last
You
night,
say
you
that you
guys.
don't say that as a criticism, but a
Oh,
compliment, right?
I love it. It's
Okay.
motivated me to start getting all of my stuff. So, but before we dive into all of that, you guys are listening to Author Talk with me, Amy Russell, and Dina Ray is with us today. And hopefully our guest,
Yay!
Jeffrey, will pop on. But you guys, let's dive into the weekend. It was super rainy here, so we did not do anything. We did go to the farmer's patch, and I love going there. So they had like Amish popcorn that you could buy, and it's like blue. So I'm waiting to try that. All kinds of just neat little different items like that. But other than that, I just watched UT win, Alabama win, LSU. I don't want to talk about. And, other than
Coach
that,
got fired today.
I know, and rightfully so. That was just a hot mess of a game. But other than that, you guys, I am just getting ready for Halloween. I'm trying to keep up with my mama who has all of her downstairs Christmas trees on and lit up. And then she has
Of
all
course.
of her man, what are they? They're like her little snow globes that light up. She's got all of those out. I mean, she's already ready.
So the only criticism I would have of that is that it's before Halloween because Halloween's my favorite holiday. I love Halloween.
Yeah.
So she's neglecting her Halloween decorations by going in and putting up her Christmas decorations.
Well, Christmas has always been my mom's favorite. Not we I don't we didn't really decorate for Halloween. I don't really decorate for like I have a spider web with a spider and like some little knickknacks. The kids
That's
probably love
enough.
Halloween. Yeah, the kids probably love Halloween more than I do, but whatever. But
Dina, what's Dina's frown mean? Because she's frowning during this conversation. Dina, what's this frown mean?
We don't decorate for Christmas. I have not decorated for Christmas since
oh
Alfonso was like 9.
no.
I did it for Wee Bossy's first and second Christmas, and after that, I'm like, screw this, man.
No, I love it. I have all my Christmas stuff like dying. It's like waiting to come out. So you know what I'll be doing on Saturday is getting it all out and ready for it.
Well,
But
and
So this is
I have
interesting.
Zero will knock down a tree. I mean, Zero will stab you,
mm,
right? So
that's
Zero,
Dina's cat. Dina's cat will do that. Russell, what were you going to say?
So this is how serious Melinda is about Christmas. In the money pit that we're building, she has a closet specifically designated for decorations.
for all
Nice.
decorations or just Christmas decorations?
I don't know because I haven't been authorized to find anything outside about that closet.
Well, I mean, I kind of have one like that. I mean, it's all in the garage right now because we're still a hot mess and slowly unpacking stuff and
She's
figuring out
always a
where
hot
things go.
mess.
I am, but we're still trying to like figure out where things go. Hence why this isn't all decorated and stuff. But I have like a nook underneath my stairs, which is like where I was gonna put all of my stuff. My mom has stuff in there in her attic upstairs, and then my dad made a big like a hidden door under her stairs, and that's where like all of her big statues and everything are underneath there. So that's what they've been pulling out of before
Okay,
he
that's
gets to the
that's
attic.
cool.
Yeah, I mean it's my mom's also collected it for like 20 years, so they have a whole lot of stuff, and so she wants to enjoy it, which is why it's already out. So I told her that she needs to start listening to Mariah Carey. So that's what she's going to start doing. But
Why would you do that? That sounds awful to have
because
to listen to that
it's her
mess.
Christmas album. You have to
Oh.
listen to it. You have to listen to her Christmas album. She kicks off the season, Russell. But
And Dina
Russell,
has another comment about that. Did you
oh
see? But she didn't
man,
make it. What's the new
her face
comment,
just
Dina?
says it all.
I know, Dina. What was that comment?
I hate Christmas songs.
There you go. See, I
Oh,
didn't.
Now, my favorite holiday is Easter.
Okay.
oh,
It's
I
like
do like all the
pumpkins
pastelly colors and
Why
stuff.
is that?
and pink.
Okay.
I don't know. I just always liked Easter.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to tell you, I did not really even care about Easter while I lived in Atlanta the last 3 years because all that meant was getting on airplanes and being exhausted by flying to Houston for stuff. I
Yeah.
look forward to it now because we will be living next to the grandchildren and it will be a fun, eventful thing.
Yeah.
But I got to
Yeah, so
tell you,
we always went all out for Easter with, like 4 or 5 dozen eggs for each kid, and then, egg salad,
now,
multicolored
Yeah.
egg salad.
so I got to say this. So my weekend was great. Last week I was screaming, help, help. I'm babysitting the 3 granddaughters for
You
another
were.
week. Okay, let me tell you what the outcome of that was. Getting to know my granddaughters very well. Uh, and getting to appreciate what a wonderful life my daughter and her husband have built. So I had a
Mm.
great week because that was the experience of my week. So I had this great freaking week. It's been a
Well,
great weekend.
you also joined the Bluey universe. And for
I
that,
did.
I can commend you because that is the bomb.
I am ready to write a thesis on Bluey because, as I was telling both of you, I am convinced that it is intentionally designed to hypnotize children because it's written very simple, very pretty, with pretty little songs, and it's hyper repetitive and it's quickly repetitive. So there's no thinking time. And I got to tell you, it hypnotizes my granddaughters.
Yeah.
It's quite something.
Well,
And
and they learn a lot of lessons from it though too, because my daughters learn lessons like
do
about
they
cheering and
think when
playing.
they become hypnotized?
Yes, I mean, they laugh. I mean, I've stopped and watched them. They're only 7-minute episodes. It's not like they're
I
that long.
know. That's
But
my point.
they've been like teaching moments, right? Because like there's sometimes with Meta where when she's at school, if someone wants her to do something and she agrees and then they walk off and do something else. So you can like go to one of those episodes because it happens in that episode and been like, oh, well, like, do you remember how Bluey felt? Or like Bluey did that and you remember like what kind of happened and the resolution. And it kind of like brings that whole interaction to life for them that they can kind of relay in their lives and it helps them. I mean, it's helped my kids. And it's made it easier to explain stuff because you know how hard it is to explain stuff to like a 7-year-old when they're just mad that this person doesn't want to play tag with them and you're just trying to explain that it doesn't really matter. You know how difficult that is, Russell?
Dina,
You do.
Dina, Dina. These Z generation parents drive me freaking
I
crazy.
am not a Z generation parent, though. I'm a millennial.
They
Do
drive
not
me
insult
crazy.
me. Do not insult me by
Oh,
calling me a Gen
I'm
Zer.
sure I did not intentionally insult.
That is insulting. That is insulting. But Dina, what did you do this weekend?
Shut up. I worked.
My bad. Hey, that's all good though. It's
I
good to
worked.
have your hustle on.
I worked and I watched CSI while I
Oh.
worked.
You know, Dina, CSI causes fights in my house
What?
because we're sitting there and while we're watching it, and my wife really likes those shows, but she won't watch them with me because during the show I'm like, they don't do that. That's not done. That's unconstitutional. That's illegal. And finally she says, shut up. It's a TV show.
Yeah.
Suspend belief. Well, my mom watched Law and Order Toronto, and she was saying, okay, the guy was trying to be Vincent D'Onofrio. He was failing.
Oh man.
I love all the Law and Order. See, I love all of that crap.
I don't do the Law and Order shows.
That's called
NCIS,
crime
I do
porn.
those. Crime porn?
Yeah,
That's
I
what
do.
it's called. It's called
Is
crime
it?
porn.
I do
Yes.
crime porn. I go to sleep to crime porn. Like
Yes.
like serial killers. That's what I go to sleep to. That's my lullaby.
Okay. So first I have to thank the people that listen to us. We've been on the podcast for 9 years. We've been on the podcast channels for about 2 years. Is that right, Amy? How long have we been on podcast channels?
No, like 3 years.
3 years. The first year, I think we were invisible. I never could find us. Amy did some magical stuff. We're now 1% on one channel, 10% on another channels on independent book podcast. And we thank you. And we're very humbled by it. Amy, where can people find us?
Yeah, so you guys can find us anywhere that you can search for a podcast. Spotify, Amazon are my go-to. There's iTunes, Google Play, etc. We rebranded, which Dina is the one that rebranded us. So just look for the Crimson, Red, and Gold Author Talk, and that is us. You will see all of our episodes in the last 9 years. So where we started to where we are today. Over on our YouTube channel, our Facebook group. So make sure that you go on over to any of those. We love engaging and interacting with you. And me, I'm generally pretty animated, and obviously you can read Dina's expressions by her face.
Dina is like she has words underneath her face saying what she thinks because it's so clear. I would love to take all of Dina's money in a poker game. But then she would shoot you on the way out. We both know that.
That's fair. That's a fair statement.
I would not shoot you.
You would do something bad if someone took your money.
I would do something bad. But
there you go. Okay.
Involve firearms.
I want to completely surprise Dina. I have questions right now because I have an opportunity. Okay.
Yeah.
Amy, do you mind me asking Dina some questions?
No, go for it.
Okay, Dina.
I do not agree to this.
I know you didn't, and let the show know that you have not agreed to this. But
do I have the
from
right
our
to
conversation before we got on, I have some questions now that I have an opportunity to ask them, and that is, what are the? Please explain what you were working on all this weekend. I want you to talk about the 5 things authors can do to get this done quicker. And I want you to talk about 4 or 5 stories that might be funny or crazy about things authors did that made their work come out slower.
Oh my God. I got stories.
Yeah.
I got stories.
I know you did.
Well, this weekend I was fixing a backlog for Amy.
Yes. Yes.
Amy gave me a bunch of children's books that she needed to republish under her umbrella. So I've been trying to fit those in with my other work. And I've got an author that she paid me to do 6 of her books 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. And she's just now getting me her books because they were all getting re-edited. So I did the first one, 6 or 8 years ago, and then she had it redone again. So I had to go and fine tune the original that I had done. Yes, you have a question.
Yeah, specifically say what you do with these books.
I take a manuscript that, like Joe Blow writes up, he has edited, he goes through the whole process. It comes to me, I do pre-production, and I flow it from Word into InDesign. And I go in and I make sure that all of the different paragraph styles, like if you have quotes or you have newscasts or you have text messages, they look different than your normal body of a paragraph. And I do the headings, and fiction has just your chapter headings. Nonfiction has chapter, section, subsection, subchapter on down. So that's the easy part. Then I go in and I finalize it, fixing widows, orphans, and runts. And I'm not going to get into all of that because there's, when you have like one word hanging at the end of a paragraph all by itself, that's a runt. You want to fix that. You don't want to have one line of a 3-line paragraph all by itself, either on the top of a page or the bottom of a page. So I fix all of that. That takes a minute. But I do that, and then I finalize it, I export it, I test it on my test account to make sure it's going to pass validation, so that the author, when they do it, they're not going to have a problem. And then with children's books, that's a completely different ball of wax, because you have to make sure your images are full bleed, side to side, top to bottom. and then go in and make sure your text fits either around it. You don't want your text to overlay over like a character's face. So stuff like that.
She is a book designer. So she'll also design covers, which she's designed all of my covers. And anyone that we've worked with, she's designed
Yeah, she's done
their
mine.
covers.
They were spectacular.
Yep. And then she does the interiors too of their books. Like Russell's book, the first page of the chapters are black. So
Yeah,
she
I
does
love
those things.
that. And Dina
Yeah.
thought of that, right?
Uh-huh. And then
I
it
mean,
has
I love that. I had comments about that.
you did love it.
Well,
and
I
then
did it the first time like years ago.
yeah.
So
She's
you weren't the first one I did it for. I don't want you to think that.
no, it's just
I
it
know.
was a perfect fit. But then you've done some that have intricate designs and headers. I mean, it's just a book designer is what Dina is on top of a cover designer.
So
So
let's get back to the things that authors have done to make it faster and even, I'm sure, is funnier, the things authors have done to make your production slower.
Okay, I have a lot of horror stories.
I want to hear them.
I
But
had,
make sure that no one can be identified in these stories as you tell them.
yeah, I
no.
won't. I had one client, and I sent her the files. She couldn't find them on her computer when she saved them, right? So she sent me the thing so that I could remotely access her computer, and I kept trying to get on. And it wouldn't let me on. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. So I sent her an email, and I waited like an hour to get a response. And so finally I called her and I said, I'm trying to access your computer. And she goes, well, I don't know. I accepted the thing that you sent, and then I got offline. I said, well, I can't do this by osmosis. I have to be connected to your computer. Do you not understand that? Oh, do you really? Okay. And then I had one author. Oh my God.
That's rough. Yeah.
My worst author ever wrote a biblical self-help, sexual self-help book
Oh, I remember this story. Yeah.
with pictures. Had
Yeah.
one picture full on like a gynecological visit
Yeah.
graph. And I told him, I said, you cannot have this in your book. It's going to get flagged. And he fought me on that. No, this book, this is very important. I said, this is perverted. You cannot do this and call yourself a Christian author. You cannot do this. This is porn. And so he fought me on it every step of the way. Send him his file, finally got him to agree to it. Send him his file. He comes back a year later and says, I need you to put this on this form and enter my book. I said, that's not my job. So, well, if I don't win this award, it's all your fault.
Yeah.
No, this is not my fault, because I'm not your assistant. I was your designer. I was contract labor. I'm not your full-time assistant. It's crazy. Now I had one get a ruler out to check their margins.
Oh man, that was crazy.
And that one I blame Amy for 100%.
No, anyways, we're not even going to talk about that one. We're just going to dive off of that one. But Russell, Dina, I don't think Russell knows this. And so I'm excited to tell Russell this. So Russell, you know how Dina and LJ are friends, right? So Dina also knows a crap ton about your romance genre that you haven't even touched the surface on, like Morally Gray, the difference between dark romance and regular romance and BDSM. Yes, she does. She just doesn't talk about it. But all your answers, Dina can also answer as well, because Dina's also written a romance book that she never published. So she can.
And why didn't you publish your romance book, Dina?
Because I got it back from the editor and I didn't make any changes. I was just like, I can't. I can't make any changes to this. So
I actually completely understand that.
But
yeah.
I kept talking about it, and Amy kept harassing me, so I sent it to her, and then she's read it like 6 or 8 times.
Is it
Russell,
dark?
no, it's not dark, but Russell, you know how you have those books that stick with you, and it's like a handful. It's not all the books that you read, but you have like a handful of books that just really stick with you, right? Because they took you on the emotional roller coaster. You felt like you were the main character in the book. That's what Dina's book did. And so it's like, I've never gotten over her book. Besides the fact, Russell, that she leaves you on this massive cliffhanger for like
And
10
that
years.
she hasn't written the next book.
Yeah,
solve,
exactly.
right?
So you don't have any closure on top of that. But my whole thing is, and like getting Dina to talk about it, is I felt like I was the main character. Like when the main character had like went through a heartbreak and was like just hurting and crying, I was crying. And I'm not a big crier, like I'm just not. But it just emotionally affected me where I felt like I was this main character going through this devastating like breakup and like loss. And so when I finished the book, because I read the book in an entire night, I stayed up and read the whole book. And I was waiting for Dina's not a morning person. So I waited for her until like
I know that's why we were
noon.
so happy she had to be on this
I
morning.
know. So I waited for her until like noon and I called and I just chewed her out because I didn't have any closure. Like I still don't have any closure about this book, but the book has stuck with me. So she can answer romance questions. She just is shy and chooses not to.
Okay,
But
I have a
it's great.
romance question for you then, Dina. This is
I'll
legitimate.
I'll try to answer.
Okay. Everyone listening to you on our podcast has a good impression of who you are because you don't hide anything.
Right.
Where inside you do you find the story to write a romance novel that transfixes Amy? Where did that come from?
That one, honestly, the one she's talking about, I had a really bad breakup. Okay, not gonna lie, really bad, and so I was taking my sons out to West Texas, and when we get in the car, I always have a notepad with me, right? But when we left, I forgot to turn on the radio. And I just started thinking about what's the scenario? How can I get this guy back? Right. So I went through this whole process, made this whole universe for the thing. And I thought, well, what if I base it on a political family, right? And like all of their foibles, all of the kids' foibles, and all of their kinks in the background, and that they keep hidden from their politically connected family. So that's how that started. And it started as a way that I could work through my heartbreak.
So it came from an honest place.
Yeah, with lots of fantasy. Lots of fantasy.
What's wrong with that?
I'm telling you, Russell, I'm just going to send you the book because it is a...
You can't send it to me. That's not authorized. Only Dina can send it to me. For you to send it to me would be dishonest.
No, Dina lets me do that.
Amy can send it. She sent it to like 3 or 4 people.
I did. And they all gave her really good, healthy feedback. But they all have the same like feeling that I did, which was that, and I think Dina's the one that made me, I think to be honest, Russell, I think reading Dina's book is the reason why I like romance books, is because you know how we talked about it's like an addiction, right? And like your first time reading it, it's like this super high, right? And then like when you're always trying to achieve that high. So I feel like a part of me, and her book's not dark romance, but I feel like I enjoy reading dark romance novels because I'm chasing after what Dina's book made me feel. And
that
this
is addiction. That's the definition of addiction. You're chasing more and more, trying to get the same. You're a total addict.
Well, okay, so to be fair, right? I'm gonna be 100%. I'm not just telling this because Dina's on and me and Dina are friends, and I'm like shooting her horn. Even if Dina wasn't on, and I've mentioned this before with her not being on, her book just emotionally took me there. Like the devastation. I felt it, the longing, the love, all those things. I just felt it where it was the first time I couldn't put a book down. Right. And I've read several books. I've read every genre, several books. And Dina's is the one that's like imprinted on me that I can't, it's hard to get somewhere else. Like it's one that I'm trying to achieve and finding somewhere else because, you know, at this damn point, I've given up on her writing the rest of her series. But I think
gotta
that's,
find them in.
well, I know, but I'm just saying, I find like, I feel like that's what just readers are just like addicted to it, right? They find this one really good book that changes just how like their emotions. And then they just are constantly trying to strive for it. So I don't know.
It's because I grew up on like the bodice rippers of the 80s and the 90s, right? Where it was Virginia Henley who could tell a story like go in depth, but not like as in depth as Stephen King, who will spend a whole chapter describing a living room of some character who's never going to be back in the book, right?
Yeah.
So you want to have enough description, but not so much description that it's fluff and it's page filler. And a lot of it depends on who an author, and this isn't me because I don't consider myself an author for that book. You know, I have other books out, but
what other books do you have out?
Mine are
you
all
just dropped that.
Mine are all publishing related. Mine are non.
Yeah, she has a lot of nonfiction books out.
But I do have a new series of books that's coming out next year that I have plotted out. That's nonfiction. That's specifically for publishing. It's publishing tips. And
well, aren't those some of the best-selling books that aren't dark romance? Because dark romance and romance is where all the best-selling books are now. So besides that, how to publish, isn't that a good way to sell books, to publish a book about how to publish?
What I see a lot of is you'll have someone who has published one book, right? And then suddenly they're an expert on publishing.
That's kind of where I'm going.
They still don't know a lot, right?
Yeah.
They don't have the background. They're just taking what they found on Google and, you know, fleshing it out. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because you get a niche of something. Like, I can't tell you about marketing. I can give you an overview of marketing, but I can't tell you how to market. Because first off, what's going to work for one book isn't going to work for another book, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I have an extensive background in the design aspect. My mom did it. You know, my mom taught me to do it. I've learned a lot on my own that, you know, I made a lot of design choices my mom never would have made. Like the black pages, she never would have done that.
Now, why wouldn't she? And why did that occur to you?
She's very traditional. She's a very traditional publisher, or she was before she started losing her sight. And you know, I just took what she taught me, and then, you know,
made it your
own. Whatever feels right for a specific book. Like I had one book, and I don't know if y'all have had him on, that his book was like about guys who crawl, not Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's not that book, but it's about, you know, an epic historical fantasy, right? So like the design that I did for that page wouldn't work for what's going to go on a dark thriller, right? So you want to make design choices that match your genre and your story. Black worked for yours.
Yeah, that was beautiful. You know,
Marilyn's black-hearted.
She is black-hearted. However, it's very understanding why she is.
Yes.
So I had a catastrophic thing happen in the writing of my next book.
Okay.
I had an epiphany this weekend, and I have to start over.
What?
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big change.
Is it
I'm starting over. It's like a rewrite, just from where I am. I got to rewrite.
No.
And it happens. And for the listeners, Amy's unhappy because she's sick of waiting for that too. She just hasn't said it, but she has intimated it.
You know, that's true. But I still forgive you because you haven't made me wait like 10 years, unlike
Well, I
others on this
may wind
call.
up. I mean, think about my year. I have not. I've lived in like. I've had 7 different residences in 1 year. I've traveled around the
Yes.
whole world. Had 2 sons married. I mean, it's just been, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's been a while. I've been
Life
going
gets
my
in the
own
way.
way.
It makes
Uh,
sense though. Like you have moved, you've gone to you've done 2 weddings for your son, you're spending time with your granddaughters. It makes sense. Just like Dina. Dina over here has to be all popular and be popping off all these book covers and everything. So it makes sense why I don't have
Well,
them. I'm
a,
just selfish and want them.
a lot of it, honestly, is because I wrote that book in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
and then in 2018, when I should have actually, been focusing on publishing it and getting out, writing book 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I had cancer and almost died. So
yeah.
that completely shifted my focus.
I
Right.
mean, it makes
And then
sense.
your whole priorities were different on the other side of that.
Yeah.
And I'm still, but before cancer, I was doing like 200 projects in a calendar year.
Mm-hmm.
And then after cancer, I'm still not up there. I mean, I'm like at 100, but I'm still not at where I was 6 years ago. So
What do you mean by projects? What does that mean?
every book I do, I consider a project, right? So like I keep all of the information, all of the emails, all of the different artwork that I've done. I keep it all in that project folder.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easier for me to do it by projects. So your book, one of your books is one project. Your second book is a second project. So then that way I keep all of this stuff. So if I have to come back and do your book 10 years from now, I've got everything I need right there.
Yeah, she still she saves it all.
Keep the same aesthetic and just make minor corrections.
Yeah. Like
Yes.
I have a whole Google Drive folder that's just for the books me and Dina collaborate on. And then within that, there's like 30 folders. And then within that specific author's folders is how many books they have, all the things that Dina needs from me that upload in there. And then she kind of like cleans that out, makes a new folder of all the completed documents that I need so I can upload. But that's after she's tested on her end to make sure that what I upload that she's sending me is going to work and not that it doesn't work. So she keeps, Russell, I have yours. We just keep all of them. We're hoarders. We hoard stuff. Like that's a better word for what we do.
Information junkie.
What Dina does.
That's my addiction.
There you go.
So
It's a better
how
way
does
of
all
wording
of this
it.
information that we've been talking about help our listeners that want to be writers? How does this help them?
They have to be prepared. Like
I think everyone knows there's all kinds of problems when you're writing a book, right? You lose the muse. And in some cases you've written it and then you're like, well, this isn't going the way I want it to, and it's not following the arc that I have planned out, so I got to do something else. And then on my end, like on the production and pre-production end, that's me, right? And so there's all kinds of stuff involved in the pre-production that a lot of people never even think about. They think that they type the end and fine, slap a cover on it, you're good to go. And there's so much stuff that goes on other than that.
Yeah, just Russell to
do it, you do it yourself.
Yeah, like put it in like to perspective, right? So when you finish your book, you have to send it off to the editor, right? And so you send them your most completed version with your own edits, right? And then they come back and they edit, and then you guys go back and forth, and then you line edit and do all that. So when you send it off to someone like Dina, like a book designer, which I think everybody should use. I don't think you should try to do covers and stuff necessarily on your own. But when you send off, she needs the completed arc file. So it's been edited, everything's done. She just needs to go in and format it, get rid of her the widows and orphans, which the first time she told me that, I was like, what are you talking about? And then she had to explain it to me. So anyways, you have to have it where
explain
she can do
it to us.
Dina. Widows and orphans.
Okay, widows and orphans. That's like your main things.
Mm-hmm.
Widows and orphans is if on a page you have one lone line of a paragraph, either at the end of a page
Mm-hmm.
or at the beginning of a page. If it's by itself, that's a widow. If it's one line by itself at the bottom of a page, that's a widow. If it's at the top of a page, that's an orphan. And if it's one lone word at the end of a paragraph, that's a runt. You don't ever want just one line, one word at the end of a paragraph by itself on the line.
Yeah.
And you fix that with kerning, and you can't really fix that in Word. I mean, it's something that people aren't gonna go bat guano crazy if it's there, in a book, but it gives it a more professional appearance if they're not there.
Yeah.
And I've always thought that indie and self-publishing should have the same standards as traditionally published books. So
They should. I mean, I think they should.
Like you should have the same editing. You should have the same editing standards that Simon and Schuster books put out, and you should have the same cover choices. But I've seen some covers that come out of the Big Five that look like vomit.
Well, I was also going to say I have some books from the Big Five too, who I don't even think went to an editor because I'm terrible with grammar and there's mistakes all over the place. So I mean, I think it's just a difference. But
and you're always going to have typos, right?
Always
going to have typos. And it doesn't matter.
Apparently some people don't agree with that, because if there's one typo in a book that I'm associated with, somebody feels a need to point it out to me. It does not make me happy when they do it either. And I don't say thank you, though I do lie and say thank you. I don't mean it.
But internally, you're just seething internally.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm marked. There's a mark against that person for that, because
I'm the same way.
Well, I do want to say this on my website, ebookbuilderspro.com. I do put publishing tips.
You do.
Every Wednesday, I have a blog post about publishing tips, and it gives an overview of this is why this is done, right? This is how you can put out the best book, whether you have me or another person fix it, or if you're going to try to fix it yourself, right? So I want everyone to put out the best books that they can. And then on Fridays, I have a deep dive mini series that I do as well that gives more information. And I've got them plotted out until April of 2026. So, but authors can get information on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Telling you. She is a wealth of information, you guys. I'm just saying. But she also knows romance, Russell. Don't let her escape you.
I know my smut.
She does. She does. So any other questions that you have before? I have to get LJ back because we didn't even touch the iceberg, you guys. We didn't even get to talk about morally gray and just like pitch black romances or like anything in between that.
We spent the whole year talking about this stuff.
And you still haven't.
I brought it up in February. We've been talking about it intermittently the whole year.
But you still you haven't even like scraped the surface, is what I'm saying. Like,
because romance is romance has so many subgenres of romance.
It's so deep. Like it's just a deep genre. That sounds bad, but we're going to keep it. We're going to go with it. So yeah, but we're going to help Russell understand, because there are just so many, even like taboo romances, Russell. Like there's a whole array of taboo romances. So we're going to help you understand that too. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I wish Dina would publish her book. She has a cover for it. She just won't share it. I'm not bitter.
I
about it.
understand.
Because I'm not publishing it with that cover. I'm not publishing it with that cover.
See, just my Monday started off so good, you guys, and then it just
It's still
burned
It's
in the
still-
ashes. No,
it's
if you
still-
saw this cover, Russell,
It's
Yeah, but-
still been a
I didn't
good
design
Monday
that
morning for you. You got to
No.
have a conversation with us.
No,
See,
it
I
is.
didn't design that cover, and that cover designer is no longer in the atmosphere, or in the sphere. So
I get you. I get you.
She
But,
doesn't like her anymore.
yeah, I know. She was nicely saying it.
She was trying to. I just didn't want to let
I
her.
don't know where she is. I don't know where she is. So that
No, it happens. Well, Russell, before we sign off, I want to know, because I'm curious, what book was like your pivotal moment that made you enjoy reading? That like that like made you feel all of the ways. What book was that?
It was in the 3rd grade. It was a little book about black and white, a painted pony.
Oh,
Because before that, I couldn't read at all.
well, okay.
And
That's fair.
the special teachers had helped me catch up with the rest of the class, and I had this book, and it was a stupid little book. It was a simple little book, but that's the answer. It was just a
Dina,
little book about a horse.
I love it. Dina, what about you?
where the red fern grows.
I get
Wow,
that.
you guys are picking like iconic books, and I'm over here like
The painted
Dina's book.
pony is not a
No, but I could see in like the 3rd
It-
grade, you're like just like full on reading, not like needing a lot of help. And this was the first book that you got to do, and like you're probably proud of yourself that you got to read it. And then like, oh, it's so cute, little horse. Like, you know,
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
could
mine
get it.
Mine was where the red fern grows. A horrifically sad and traumatizing book for a 4th grader.
Oh yeah, I refuse to watch that movie. I won't watch that movie.
Oh, and Old Yeller.
Mm-mm.
I love
No.
those books.
I don't like the books that or the movies that harm
When I
animals.
was writing my 2nd book, I was thinking about Old Yeller
That
and what
one's-
not to do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. This is how much I am like John Wick, the whole series, right, is about they killed his dog, and he like ends up going down this whole thing, right? But
Yeah, they
and
do that to make you mad with John Wick the whole time.
I am very mad. But when I watch John Wick, when that scene comes with the dog, I have to
I don't
fast
watch it.
forward. I
I
have
don't
to
watch
fast
it.
forward. Yep, I know. And then I'm all into it. Then I'm like, hell yeah, get them because they killed your dog. Blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, then
And
I'm
it's
all
a
for
little
it.
bit beagle puppy, which
I
is the
know.
most harmless thing there ever could be.
I know. And then he gets his
Okay,
other
I'm going to
puppy.
say this.
Oh, great.
A million years ago, and I cannot tell you the author, but I was in like 9th or 10th grade, right? I read a book called This Family of Women, and it was basically like a epic family fiction, right, about this family of women, 3 generations of women and what all they went through. And it like part of it was like the Great Fire of San Francisco, right? I mean, it was just, and that book has stuck with me. And if I picked it up again, I would read it again. And it's been 40 years.
Wow.
I'd still read it.
That's
And it
intense.
wasn't a bodice ripper.
No. That's
Love my bodice.
intense. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could see it, but I don't know.
Virginia Henley is the best romance author of all time. I'm just going to put that out there. And when I got to meet her, I swear to God, I went total fangirl. And when she friended me on Facebook, total fangirl. I just thought it was fabulous.
I can't
Not
see.
gonna
I can't see you doing that, but I'll take your word for it. I will take your word for it. Well, you guys, we hope that you all have a great week, a safe and fun Halloween on Friday. And when we come back, you guys, oh my gosh, it's November. this year is just flying by. But have a great week, a safe Halloween, everybody. And until next week, bye for now, everybody.